Impact family. It's so great to be connecting with you guys during this time. I know that we can't be together in person, but I've really been enjoying the Devos that have been coming out from Pastor Ray, Sandra, Cameron, and Scott, and I hope that they bless you guys. And I've really just been thinking through the different seasons that we can go through in life, and sometimes some of them are a little bit busier, and some of them are a little bit more restful, and hopefully the season that you guys are in right now is a season that lends to a little bit more rest. But one thing for sure is that a life that's led by God is always a beautiful adventure. And I know the Israelites really learned this during their 40 years following him through the wilderness and through the desert. And there was something amazing that happened as they were following God through the wilderness. There was this cloud that represented the presence of God, and it hovered over the tabernacle, which was their portable church. It was a tent that represented what would become the temple. And it was a cloud during the day and a pillar of fire at night. And everywhere that this cloud or pillar of fire went, they would follow. They would pick up everything, their family, their livestock, their homes, and just follow wherever God would go. And you can actually read about this in Numbers 9, verse 15 to 23. It explains about how they were always ready for the move of God. They lived their life in expectation of the next move. When was that cloud going to move? But there was something that really caught my attention as I was reading this passage, and it's in Numbers 9, verse 19. I'm just going to read out of the NLT version. It says that if the cloud remained over the tabernacle for a long time, the Israelites stayed and they performed their duty to the Lord. And I thought that was so interesting that in their lifestyle of always searching for the next move, being ready for the next move, they were also ready to remain. They were ready for that season when sometimes the cloud would stay for days, weeks, months, a year. But during that time, they were ready to remain and to be obedient, even in the remaining. And you know, sometimes we as Christians can be always looking for the next move and what does God have next in our life. And it can be thrilling and exciting, and God does always move. But sometimes he has us remain in a certain season because he still has something that he wants to work in us through that season. And I'm not saying that God caused this season by any means, but I think that he works in everything. And in this season where we're almost forced to remain in many ways, that God is able to use this season of remaining to draw out times that we wouldn't normally be able to spend with him. You know, as we still ourselves, the Bible actually says in Psalm 46, verse 10, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." See, it's in the stillness, not the rushing around and the doing and the moving here and there, but it's actually in the stillness of remaining that we're able to draw in close for a fresh revelation from God. And I believe that in this season, God is able to use this time of remaining, that in our obedience, that we would, like the Israelites, perform our duty to the Lord obediently, whatever that looks like for you guys in your daily living, but also to draw in close to God during this time and say, Lord, what is it that you want to teach me in the remaining? I want to still myself before you. And so I challenge you guys to ask yourself and really ask God, Lord, what are you doing in this season for me? As I draw close to you, what is it that you want to reveal to me? And what is it that I can do to perform my duty to the Lord as I remain in your presence, as we remain diligent to what God wants to do in all things? He is working for our good. And so I'm trusting and believing that even in this season, God is working amazing things in your life and in your heart as we choose to use this time to offer it up to God and say, Lord, whatever you want to use this season for, I give it to you. And so I pray that even in the midst of what can be a difficult season, God would bless you all. And I hope that you will have an amazing night. God bless.